Hey folks, my name is Dario Verbanek, local Niagara Realtor. Here is your November 2022 real estate update. So in this presentation, we're going to talk about the summary of the Niagara region last month. We're going to take a closer look at individual markets, particularly for investors. I'll tell you what I'm hearing from other agents on the ground in terms of their buyers and sellers and what they're thinking, and also some brand new opportunities for investors out there that just passed legislation. So first things first. The Niagara market, as most markets did in November, continued to soften. The prices are down. Days on market are just as long as they were the month before. And in general, what I'm hearing on the ground is that people are willing to wait it out and people are not really willing to list in this environment. So that's going to lead to more of a softening and more of people just sort of thinking they can just wait and maybe get something good down the road. More inventory is coming up and prices are decreasing. So it's a really great time to jump in. I know not everyone is in the position to come in with a cash down payment, but if you have that ability, it is such a great time to buy because you're going to get some fantastic deals out there. So let's take a look at some closer individual markets. In general, this red line is the investing red line, as I like to say. Everything east or on the right side of that red line is much better for investing than on the left for various reasons. So we're going to focus on those in general. So St. Catharines, very quickly, the number of sales are quite down. Number of new listings is up. So as you would imagine, the price for a general, or what's called the HPI, which is kind of like an apples to apples comparison, that's quite a bit down over the last year, and days on market is more than double. Since last month, you can see it trending down in terms of number of new listings, number of sales, and price. Same thing in Thorold. Even though the number of new listings is up, there's quite a dramatic drop in number of sales from the year before it. Prices are down, days on market's longer. It's just one of those things where it's just a fantastic time to grab a home in the Niagara region. In Welland, number of new listings are up, but again, number of sales are down from last year. Prices are down from last year, with the same month over the last year. And then from October to November, you can see just like everywhere else, things are tending to drop. Let me get my little bubble out of the way here. You can see days on market is slightly up. So Port Colborne, this is also including Wainfleet. Over last year, you can see the prices have dipped. And from last month, from October 2022 to November 2022, prices are continuing to go down. Although, which is kind of peculiar, the average days on market is less, which tells me a lot of people are just pulling their sort of homes off, or the sellers are just saying, forget it. They're packing it in, waiting for the new year. So that'll change the average days on market number. Fort Erie, which traditionally has been a little more affordable for investors to go to. It might not be quite a large rental market, but people are getting pushed in that direction as house prices have been high for quite a bit. In some areas, it might be closer to the GTA. You can see Fort Erie number of sales from last year is quite a bit down. And then from October to November, average days on market has gone up and the average price is continuing to go down. Niagara Falls typically has been a little more resistant to investors and their needs. With what I'm going to talk about in a minute about the new legislation that just passed, Niagara Falls might be a little bit more open for business. Year over year, everything's down. Again, similar story. If you're interested in a specific market, feel free to just pause the video and check it out. I'm not going to waste everyone's time going through every single number. It's better to get through and to the juicy details in a minute. Niagara-on-the-Lake, kind of the short-term rental spot. You can see number of sales is quite down over the last year, and month over month, number of new listings is down, number of sales is down. Everything is quite a bit down. Although the actual selling price is holding pretty steady because people know what they have. It's kind of a very sought after market, so people are willing to either pay a bit more or hold on to theirs if they're not going to get what they're looking for. So what I'm hearing from other agents on the ground is basically if you come in with a condition of sale, it's worthless to the seller these days because it's kind of like this row of dominoes where everyone goes in and makes an offer based on a condition of sale because they have one on their home, but it's not actually going through. So it's a pretty worthless condition from what I'm hearing the last couple of months. That being said, if you go in with a firm offer, you really hold the cards and you can really negotiate quite hard to get quite a good deal because it's such a rare thing to have and it can start that set of dominoes. People are willing to give away their home for a pretty good price if you can come in with a firm offer. And lastly, people are saying, listen, it's not going well. You either give us what we want or we're just going to pull the house off the market. I've seen some bluffing on that. And in other instances, they just say, nope, we're not taking it. And a week later, they pull the house off and they're just going to wait for the new year. So it's a very interesting time. Like I said, if you have a firm offer, you can really, really get a good deal and negotiate quite hard. So let's get to the juicy stuff. Last month in this update, I talked about how the provincial government had sort of brought forward a bill, but it wasn't law yet. Well, they made short order of it, and it's now active legislation. So the More Homes Built Faster Act does exactly what I was talking about last week. It's a huge opportunity for investors. All the cities that have tried to been pushed back against people investing in their city, they can't really do anything now. Now, it's still got to get rolled out. Let's have a little caveat here. But basically, the municipal zoning laws don't necessarily apply anymore. It's a provincial law, which allows for 3 units by right, meaning you don't have to ask permission. As long as you follow the Ontario Building Code, you can do it. That is a massive deal for cities like St. Catharines and Niagara Falls, who for the longest time have made it almost impossible to invest there and to do any sort of building because they've been so restrictive, because they've sort of stuck to their guns on their own bylaws. Now, it remains to be seen how this is implemented at each municipality, but for now, it's quite promising that they're going to be forced to do it. This is one of the major things that the provincial government is mandating, and it's basically 3 units on a property. You can do it within one structure, or you can do 2 units within one structure and a 3rd unit in a separate structure. Some people call it a coach house. Some people call it a garden suite. They are now exempt from development charges and parkland dedication fees. That is a very long way of saying it's going to be much cheaper to build because the city's not going to charge you for a lot of the fees that they were collecting before. They just have to let you do it. And now the municipalities are going to have to implement this. Now, again, the devil's in the details always, but this is quite the opportunity because the provincial government is forcing municipalities to allow this kind of development. And for investors, this is absolutely fantastic news. As always, if you have any questions at all, you just want to chat about real estate, feel free to reach out, Instagram or by email. Here are my handles and my email address if you'd like to reach out. Thanks very much, everybody. This is the November 2022 update. We'll see you next month.